What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Put 'em on a Poster podcast. If you're new to the channel, my name is Chandler, but let's just hop directly into the video today, man. So today, we're going to talk a little bit deeper about the Kyrie Irving trade. We're going to talk about the other teams that were involved with it. And today, we're also going to talk about my predictions for the NBA trade deadline. I think this trade deadline is going to be interesting. I really don't know how much moves are going to be made. A lot of people have been saying, before the Kyrie Irving trade happened, obviously, that this is going to be one of the most boring trade deadlines and one of the most kind of like basic, not much going on trade deadlines in a while. So, I'm gonna give my takes on it. I'm gonna say maybe who I think is going to end up getting traded, what's going to end up happening. But let's just get directly into it, man. So, in case you missed it, on Sunday, Kyrie Irving was traded, and Kyrie Irving was traded for Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, and a 2029 first round pick, and a couple second round picks too in later years, but. You look at that package and you look on both sides. Dallas, if Kyrie Irving actually plays the games and actually, cares about basketball and basketball is his main focus, Dallas is getting a really good piece. Because, you look at Kyrie Irving, he's averaging like 27, 5, and 5 on the season. He's been efficient. He's been incredible for Brooklyn. He's an all-star starter for a reason. He's been really, really good. He's clearly worth all the value you could get. But the thing that's interesting with him is, as I previously mentioned, is he going to play? Because if he doesn't play, then it's like, oh, well, we did this for nothing. And you look at the package that you're giving up. You're giving up Spencer Dinwiddie, who's a pretty good ball handler. I think he's more of like a secondary ball handler, not really like kind of like a maybe more off the bench role. But I wouldn't necessarily say off the bench role, but I'd say like he should not be like the focal point of your offense after Luka Doncic went out. That shouldn't have been the case. And that shouldn't be the case with Brooklyn. I'm not saying that he's not going to be, but, I think that Spencer Dinwiddie is not that kind of player. And I think now that you look at Brooklyn's team, I don't think he'll be that type of player for Brooklyn. I think he'll be more of that facilitator kind of type, which I think is better for him. Brooklyn also is getting Dorian Finney-Smith, who, according to a lot of other people, and including me, myself, I think that he is like the superstar of role players. And, hear me out on this. It's just the stuff that he can do on the court. He's really talented, man. He's a very versatile defender. He can guard 1 through 5. He's really good, really flexible. He can make a lot of tough plays, make a lot of good defensive adjustments. You look at his offense. He's a very, very reliable kick out and shoot guy. His catches, shoot threes, his percentage is up in the 40s. He's incredible at what he does. And, he just fits that role perfectly. He's on a really good contract locked down for the next, I think, 3 or 4 years. That's a really good piece to have. And if you're Brooklyn, I'd be really happy in getting him. If you're Kevin Durant, I'd be really happy in getting him, which, speaking of that, who knows what's going to happen now that Kyrie's gone. Maybe Kevin Durant asks out in the offseason. I don't know, but it's an interesting situation right now because obviously, the reason they came together and the reason they wanted to play together is they had this vision of playing together and leading a team to a championship in Brooklyn. Now that vision's gone. Kyrie Irving's out the door. That's not happening anymore. So, you look around the league, there was a couple other teams that made some offers too. The Phoenix Suns, it came out that they offered Chris Paul, Jay Crowder, and I think 1 first-round pick or something like that. That's a very good package, and you could make an argument that is the best package that they could have got for Kyrie Irving. But the deal with that and the reason why they didn't take it, which they also there's also a report coming out that they offered, or that Brooklyn wanted at least 2 to 3 picks from Phoenix in this trade for that to happen, which makes sense. Phoenix would obviously be a title contender. They obviously are struggling this season, but you add Kyrie Irving instead of Chris Paul, that team's back to a title contender easily. Might get themselves a ring one day. I don't know. But, you obviously could tell that team would have been amazing. And so that's why they asked for more picks. I think that, that's probably the best package they could have got. But obviously Chris Paul's older. Jay Crowder's a little bit older. It makes sense it doesn't happen. You look around, obviously the Lakers made a package for Russell Westbrook, 2 first-round picks. Brooklyn declined it. They wanted Max Christie, Austin Rivers, and they wanted the swaps, which obviously if you're the Lakers, you're not doing that because obviously why would you give up every single asset for a potential 6-month rental? No point in doing that. And you look at, you just look around the league. There was a couple other teams that made an offer, like the Clippers made an offer. Clippers offered like Terrence Mann and Luke Kennard and a pick or two, or a pick and some swaps, but obviously they declined that. Just in terms of role players wise, that's not good value. compared to like what you get with Spencer Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith. And obviously Dallas held it down. They kept strong on their asking price, and Brooklyn accepted it. So I think it's a good trade for both sides. We'll have to see what ends up happening with Kyrie in Brooklyn or in Dallas. We'll have to see if he actually plays and, you know, if he's really good for him. Who knows? But, you know, let's just move on. So, in my opinion, I think this trade deadline is going to be a little bit busier than people expect it to be. I think there's going to be some decently sized names moved. Obviously, there's not going to be another superstar like Kyrie that just gets traded, but I think you look around and you're going to see guys like maybe you see OG Anunoby trade, which there's been rumors around with him and the Raptors saying that, oh, you know, they're wanting 3 first-round picks for him. And apparently, like I saw a rumor online or I saw like a report, the Knicks are willing to offer those 3 first-round picks. And, you know, you look at the Raptors and you look at the situation that they're in with OG Anunoby, obviously if you're getting 3 first-round picks for him, it's going to be some team that's probably like in the middle of the line, maybe a championship contender where it's like, those 3 first-round picks that you're getting aren't exactly going to be top picks. Like those picks will probably be in the 15s, 20s, maybe like or 15s and 20s. They're not going to be exactly great picks, but you know, a first-round pick is a first-round pick. I mean, at worst, you use it in another trade. You get draft capital to potentially make a move with. So, you know, you can make the argument that OG should be shipped. I think he probably will end up being gone. I think the Raptors are going to end up selling at the deadline, but you know, you look around, maybe they keep Pascal Siakam. I think Fred VanVleet's going to be out the door too, considering he's supposed to be an upcoming free agent soon. I don't see a world where he really stays. I mean, maybe he does if the market interest just isn't as high as what people expect it to be or what people would want it to be. But he was an all-star not too long ago. He's a very talented player. He's a dog. I mean, he'll grind it out, man. He's one of those players. But, you know, I think Fred VanVleet maybe gets shipped out of the door. I think Toronto is going to either sell. They're either going to full on sell or they're going to retool because they're just kind of in that middle of the road right now. And, you know, maybe if they do kind of retool, maybe they ship like Gary Trent out the door, kind of go from there. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with them, but I think that Toronto will make some moves. And if I'm leaning towards anything, I'm leaning towards them potentially selling. I think the same thing with the Chicago Bulls. You know, as a half Bulls fan, half Thunder fan, I'm a main Thunder fan, but you know, the Bulls, they're my Eastern Conference team, man. I like the Bulls a lot, but I think they got to make a move. I think they're going to end up blowing it up. I'm not saying that they will necessarily, but I think that they're going to. Because you look at this team right now, they're in the same kind of deal as the Raptors. They're in no man's land. I mean, they really don't have a chance to really do anything right now. I think if you look at Zach LaVine, he's taking a little bit of a step back. You look at DeMar DeRozan, he's still an all-star. He's having a great season, but he's getting older. Maybe he starts to kind of regress soon, starts to take a step back. Nikola Vucevic, it's been pretty obvious he's taking a step back. I mean, he just hasn't been as good as what it's been or what he has been. That Magic trade, the Magic got a steal, man. They got Wendell Carter in that trade. They got Franz Wagner, who's been really, really good. He's going to be a stud. He's only a second-year player, too, which is incredible. And they're getting the Bulls pick this year. And speaking of that, it's kind of interesting. I think if the Bulls decide to blow it up, I think they need to blow it up completely. Just build a new core around some young guys and picks. And maybe, just maybe, if you're bad enough, tank hard. Because the Bulls, in this trade that they did, that pick is top 4 protected. So if they get lucky and the lottery hits, maybe the balls go right. Maybe they get Victor Wembanyama. Maybe they get Scoot Henderson. Who knows what they end up with? But they have a chance. If they decide to blow it up, I think they have a chance. You know, if they get it this season, it's going to be a little interesting considering their odds aren't going to be good for it. But, you know, if they decide to blow it up and go all in on just tanking and letting it happen, then maybe maybe it works out. I mean, maybe they can get those young guys that can develop and turn into studs. And because, I mean, at this point, this core that they have is kind of just going to be a middle of the pack team. It's not going to be a number 1 seed title contender. They don't have that kind of superstar that has that. Like, I mean, you look around the league, you know, Jokic, Embiid, Giannis, LeBron. I mean, those top teams. I mean, obviously the Lakers aren't really a top team right now, but if you put the right core around LeBron, he's going to win you a title. But, you know, like Steph Curry, I mean, you get the right guys around that superstar, then you can really win a title. And I think the Bulls should just blow it up, try to get lucky with the draft, maybe get that superstar and build around him. Because, I mean, you see what they did with Jordan. They got their superstar, they built around him the right way, and they won 6 titles out of it. So maybe they get lucky. Maybe they can get someone like Victor in this year's draft. Probably not, but who knows, man. If they decide to blow it up, I think that'd be the smart thing for them to do. I think some teams I'll maybe buy are like you look at the Knicks. I think the Knicks will go all in. I think they'll buy. They'll try to make themselves a good playoff run. And I think there's a couple other teams around the league, like maybe the Clippers make a move for a point guard. They've been needing a point guard. Obviously, Fred VanVleet's been in rumors to go there. Maybe they make that move. There's a couple other teams. Or obviously the Lakers. I think they're going to make a move. They're struggling right now. I don't think they're going to potentially trade Westbrook unless the package is right. Obviously, this Kyrie trade would have been big for him, but I think the Lakers still will make something happen out of it. It's bound to happen. There's no way it won't. So, but I'm going to end the video here. I just wanted to say thank you for watching. If you liked the video, man, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It means a ton to me to have people still here and supporting me. It's incredible, man. I appreciate all the love for real. But I'll see you on the next video, man. Peace.